Well, good morning. I am DanGray, Gray & Sons Electrical. Moved into the Sacramento area in 1985. I was 15 years old. Graduated from Bella Vista High School in 1989, where I met my high school sweetheart and my wife of 24 years now. I have two boys. I have a 19-year-old and I got a 17-year-old. My 17-year-old son, Matthew, is the one with autism. Always welcome to ask me questions about that. I've been doing electrical ever since I got right out of high school. So around 1989, I started doing electrical. Worked for a really small mom and pop company. Learned a lot of all the different aspects of running a business, being that I was basically always with the boss and the owner. So I learned a lot. Was able to apply it to my own life, and it's been working for me. So I went in business for myself about 1997. So I've been doing my own thing ever since 1997. Do all types of electrical, mostly residential, a little bit of commercial, that kind of stuff. In my free time, I do restore cars. Believe it or not, over 70 cars, maybe 100. In the last 5 years, I've owned 7 Lincoln Continental convertibles, to give you an idea. Did a bunch of those when my business got a little bit slow. The last 5 years before this year of me coming to LeTip were the worst 5 years I've had in my business since 1997. So when I joined LeTip this last year, I want to say my business really increased because of all of us in this group. And that's a big deal to me. I appreciate all that, and I want to say thank you for all that. It really changed a lot of things. So yeah, I do that kind of stuff. On my free time, my wife and I managed to get our dream boat. We got a 1958 Chris Craft. It's 50 foot. So if you ever get stuck with my name on visitation, you want to sip a cocktail on a yacht, let me know. I just need an excuse.
I think that's where the mixer should be.
I'm okay with that. I can make that happen. So, that's kind of my thing. You've heard my commercials. You know I do electrical. So I'm going to open the floor. Does anybody have any questions?
Caught us off guard.
Huh?
You do great work for me. Thank you so much. But you do some unique things. You put in whole house fans,
I do.
ceiling fans,
I do.
fan lights.
So on the whole house fan thing, I always got a kick out of it. There's this one company, I won't say their name, Quality First. I did say their name. But I always got a kick out of it. They would sell their whole house fan for like a lot of money, and then they would call me up, and then I would go pick up their part for them, and then I'd go do their whole job, grab their check, and drop it off at their office. They literally did nothing, and they charged twice as much as what I charged. So I know my prices are fair. I'm not trying to be the cheapest person. It's not my goal, but I'm usually in the middle of the price range. Sometimes I am the cheapest person. It's a rare day when I'm the expensive person, just because I have low overhead and, Alex.
Yeah, you did my neighbor's house, old house, 70s, and you upgraded the power box by just changing those bars and upgrading the
I did do that. You're right.
So, did a great job.
Thank you. And they were actually really fortunate that they found me. Not to be arrogant or anything like that, but that is Zinsco panel, and that particular panel is notorious for having problems with the bus bars where the breakers clip on. Panel change can easily run $2,000. I'm one of the few people that were able to get his bus bars and have them milled in copper. I have this guy that actually mills those bus bars in copper. So for like $600 or $700, I fixed his panel instead of $2,000.
You did mine on Highview that way.
Yes, same thing. So and I know a lot of other electrical contractors, and they don't offer that as an option because $2,000 is better than $600, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Bill.
Just a testimony, you deserve to be arrogant because that kind of knowledge you just displayed, a lot of electricians don't have, that they could have fixed that box for 2000. We live in a disposable society where most of them are just wanting to replace everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
that's huge.
actually do feel like I do a service. In my backyard, I have a stack of these panel covers, and they're all the rare ones that over the years people ask me. What happens is people come back and steal these Zinsco breakers and parts like that because they're really expensive, and they sell them to these electrical companies that redistribute the breakers and stuff like that. Well, in the process, this dead front cover gets thrown away, and that's the cover that covers the breakers up. If you reach your hand in there, you get shocked. Now, SMUD will not turn on the power if that dead front cover is missing. They don't make the cover. You can't buy it. So once again, if you don't have this cover, you have to spend $2,000 replacing your panel. If I have it in my stack of covers sitting in the backyard, $150, $200, you're back in business again. So I do that kind of stuff just because, it serves my customers. Kristen.
Do you do much work, say I was going to build myself a custom home, do you do like from ground up? electrical on a new
I
home?
do. I haven't, unfortunately, it's been a while since I've wired a house all by myself, but I used to do a ton of, I think it has a lot to do with the economy. There's not a whole lot of building going on, but I wire a house completely by myself. I even do the phone and data and TV stuff like that also. Even though that's not really my target, I'm not trying to do phone and data and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, absolutely. I've done a lot of houses in the Sacramento area. I used to do insurance work years ago, and that would be houses catching on fire, and we'd come in and, or actually I would come in and fix the house, and that's actually harder to do than rewiring a house from scratch, because you have to figure out what section's bad, what section's good, and then tap into that and continue onward like that. But a lot of them would end up being complete rewire. So in the Sacramento area, wired well over 100 houses. I don't even know how many. Yes.
What's the requirement for GFIs inside a house?
GFIs, the code's changing a little bit on that. The original code was anywhere by a wet location, which would be bathroom sinks, kitchen sinks, it would be outside outlets, even the garage outlets in there, because they figure you're gonna plug a shop vac in and be barefooted and try to vacuum in the rain. So the GFI, what it's actually doing is sensing a balanced and unbalanced load. So if you start to get shocked, usually it's part of electricity returns to the earth somehow or another, and that GFI recognizes that as a problem and shuts off like that, and you get to live. So it's kind of a cool device for $20. It actually saves lives.
Well, like, kind of follow what Bill has said, I mean, there's a reason why you're making money with LeTip. It's because you've used a lot of us, and we refer you because you're really good. So,
Thank you.
take that out. What's your ideal job?
My ideal job lately has been a lot of LED can lights. I'm not a person that pushes a lot of stuff except for these LED can lights, and it's because it's my favorite product that's come out during the 24 years I've been doing business. Or not, I mean, 17 for myself anyways, but it's my favorite product. It puts out more light than anything else in a can light thing, better than halogen light, better than fluorescent light, and it uses the least amount of electricity. So what a 65-watt bulb puts out, this 9-watt LED trim kit puts out more light for 9 watts. So literally you can run 6 can light trims cheaper than you can do one screw and light bulb, and that's a big deal. Yes.
And I can testify to that. I think I'm one of your favorite jobs, right?
Yeah, of course. I did her kitchen. We pulled out her fluorescent lights.
You really changed my life. I cook all the time, and now I can actually see in my kitchen.
Yeah.
Because he redid my whole kitchen lighting, tore out, you know those boxes you have in the kitchen? They're so old school. If you have one, call Dan. He's amazing. He comes out, he removes the box, you can put in your can lights, lickety split, and then he chopped up the box to get it in my recycle can or whatever. And that was just really awesome that you went that extra mile and did that.
Thank you.
We were so happy every day. We think of you every time we
Turn
turn
the
our kitchen
lights
lights
on.
on.
John.
Can you just take like an LED bulb that they sell at Home Depot and put it into one of those?
The screw and LED bulbs aren't as good as the retrofit kits. They're decent, but for whatever reason, it seems like the retro kits put out a little more light. But you can do those, but the trim kits aren't even that hard to put in. If you have existing can lights and want to retrofit them to LEDs, you can do that usually for around $40 a can. You got to have like a half a dozen to make it worthwhile for me. But that's typically something to do. And if you're really broke, I'll tell you how to do it. It's pretty easy to do. So yeah, I do that kind of problem all the time where I cut myself out of the money. Is that it? I'm all done?
Yeah, good job.